Hello to all my physics pals. Paul Lake here with another physics problem solved. I hope you're doing well. And in this one, we're going to find the electric flux entering the side of a cone. We're going to be dealing with electric flux and fields, and specifically here through a closed surface. And obviously, we're going to be using the dot product, to figure out flux and so on. So hopefully you're familiar with that. Let's read the problem. It says a cone with a base radius r and a height h is located on a horizontal table. And then a horizontal uniform field E penetrates the cone as shown below. Determine the electric flux that enters the left-hand side of the cone. So this part of the cone, how much is entering this closed surface, the cone. And yeah. So give this a try, and I recommend you pause the video now and try and work this out yourself. And if you get stuck, or if you just want to check your work with mine, hit play. And I do teach a lot of during the explanation, so don't skip around too much. And I get these some of these problems from my tutoring clients, so check in the description for a link and how to get in touch with me if you would benefit from my tutoring services. My rates are reasonable, and I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at this, so I can save you a lot of time and stress. All right, so here's what's given. It's basically everything is in the picture. And then what are we trying to find? And really the flux in, because it's coming into the cone, on the left side. Okay, so let's solve it. Now, if we start with the basic definition of electric flux, which says that the amount of electric flux is equal to the integral of the electric field times the area vector, but it's a scalar thing. This might deceive us into thinking, whoa, look at this problem. This is really, we might have to use calculus to do this, because what if I look at this surface right here, and you might say, oh, well, there's my area vector, and so what's the angle between the electric field and the area vector? And oh, but this area vector rotates around, so this has to be a little dA, and so I'm going to have to integrate the area vector times the electric field over rings or some crazy thing like that. I don't know how to do that. I would panic if we're trying to use this, right, to figure out how much flux is entering. But here's the deal. It doesn't matter what this shape is. What matters is the cross-sectional area that this electric flux is trying to penetrate. And so what we can do is we can take this cone. Let me redraw the cone right here. Okay. And so what I can do is I can say, hey, let's take a look at this cross-sectional area here. And it's kind of a sliver if you look at it from this view, right? What I'm doing is I'm slicing this cone in half like that, and saying that the electric flux, oh, it goes through that area, doesn't it? All the electric flux that enters the cone has to go through this. Let me kind of draw it in a little bit more perspective like this. Here's that area. Well, let's look at the area from the point of view, like, what if your eyes were over here, looking at the side of the cone? And what you would see is you would see a triangle. Like, this is the cone, but looking at it from this angle. And what would the electric flux look like? Well, the electric flux are lines going into the paper, like this, you see. So it's a uniform field, so that means that the electric field lines are all evenly spaced. And what does the little cross mean? Well, the little X's mean these are electric field lines that are going into the paper. So I'm not drawing this in any kind of oblique view. I'm looking at this from looking at it from this direction. Well, what is this? Well, this is the base of the triangle right here. And what is that? Well, that's 2r. And what is this? Well, that's the height of the triangle. That's the height of the cone. Okay. And so now we can easily calculate the electric flux, because what happens here is, well, E is a constant, so it comes out. And then we have, when you sum all the little dAs, you just get A. And this A is the cross-sectional area here. Now, what is the area vector here? And this is where you have to kind of understand how we talk about area, the areas that as the surface area of a completely enclosed volume. We call that a closed surface. Well, we say that the area vector points out from there. Now, if in this curved surface here, it's like this, but if this is my, well, I'll just draw it like this. If this is my surface area, the cross-sectional area of the cone, well, the area would point out from like this. So the area vector is like this. So, so when you use this, when you figure out what this flux is, this electric flux, it's E. Now, what is A? Well, it's the area of this triangle, and it's 1/2 the base times the height, right? 1/2 the base. Well, the base is 2 times the radius, right? This is your kind of your base right here, from here over here. That's 2r, and then the height is just h. So the 2 cancels 2. So E times A, well, A is R times H. And then what do we got? Well, then we have the cosine of the angle between them. Well, what is that? Well, this cross-sectional area is pointing to the left, whereas the electric field is pointing to the right. So what's the angle between right and left? Oh, it's 180 degrees. Okay, so we have the cosine of 180 degrees. So let me rewrite ERH. This is the electric field times the magnitude of the area times the cosine of 180 degrees. And of course, you might have this memorized. If you don't, it's a good one to know. Okay, cosine of 180 is -1. Okay, check your unit circle if you don't believe me, but it really does. So we have our answer. The electric field equals negative ERH. Now, what does this negative mean? The negative means that the flux is entering my closed surface. Now, if I wanted to know what the right-hand surface is, you know, what is the flux coming out of the right-hand side? Well, it's coming out. So this cross-sectional area has an area vector that's now in the same direction as the electric field. So you get the cosine of 0 degrees, which is 1. So it would be positive. Because, look, so this is my answer. But remember this. If you have electric flux outside of your closed surface, the amount of flux that goes in has to be equal to the amount of flux that comes out. So the net flux through this closed surface is 0. Now that's only true if there's no net charge inside your closed surface. And very soon you're going to get to Gauss's law. And in Gauss's law, it's a very important idea. And we'll talk about that when we get to Gauss's law in the next lesson. But in any case, this is your answer. So there it is, another physics problem solved. And hey, check in the description. I have links to lectures and more example problems like this one. And also like, share, and subscribe. and share it with your teachers, share it with your friends. And yeah. And so if you got all this way, I want to thank you so much for watching my video, and thank you so much for studying physics, because I know it's difficult and time consuming and frustrating at times, but there's a lot of great practical applications. Our civilization depends on smart, hardworking people like you to study this stuff. And also the universe is just, it's just amazing. It's amazing that we can understand just little bits of it. So keep studying it and keep enjoying it. Smell the flowers. And until the next video, may the net force be with you always. That is all.